I'm Taylor Oracle, and today we're doing astrology and tarot, where we sort of touch on the astrology inside of tarot cards. And we're starting with we're continuing with the cups. We're now on the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is Pisces, and we're going to talk all about Pisces today. So that is the, emotionally connected, the intuitively connected sign, very watery sign, again, very emotional, looks at things very emotionally. Pisces is a lot of tarot people. The intuition with Pisces is usually pretty high, and a lot of good things with the Pisces sign. So the Pisces. So let's start with the Eight of Cups. So the Pisces Eight of Cups is Saturn within the sign of Pisces. So you remember that Saturn separates and Venus connects. So Saturn separates. So we have that emotional feel or that intuitive feel or that sort of, that connection, right? Pisces is all about the connections. And the separation caused by Saturn, the negativity caused by Saturn, it has just separated the Pisces feel, the Pisces emotional bond, all the intuition, etc. Sort of just separated that out where it's not as connected, and the Pisces sign is not in the connected state it's usually in. So that's why we have the abandoned success. So we're on the road to success, and then pretty much at some point Saturn hits, and the Eight of Cups pretty much points to the abandonment of that success. So you can see the separation. Again, Saturn separates, so you can see that separation here. You can see the separation, almost the purposeful separation here as well as here. So you have all of this commonality between these of the separation caused by Saturn. So what would we do if it was reversed? Maybe we have a bit of that connection restored. Maybe we have some of that Pisces feel, the Pisces connection, the intuition coming back, sort of recovering from it. By the way, I'll be doing a video on reversals this weekend. So we have some of that connection restored, but right side up, that Saturn influence is really hitting Pisces and causing it to separate, and we have all of that sort of represented within here. So it's an interesting combination to affect Pisces. And the next card we have is the Nine of Cups. Now this is Jupiter within Pisces. Now it's important to note that Jupiter expands. Jupiter is the largest planet. It expands and makes it greater. So when Jupiter touches something, it's going to make it a little larger or make it a little more grandiose, as it were. And so that's what you have here, indulgence. So look back at Pisces and that feel of the emotional connections, the feel of the intuition hitting. And a lot of Pisces is, sort of trying out things or experimenting with things and trying to find out what's enjoyable or what you have a connection with and things like that. So once Jupiter has entered Pisces, we have a bit of that indulgence. Maybe a little too much, right? Not a little too much connection. I guess it wouldn't be that bad, but we have just a bit too much. It's just a bit too much once it hits the Pisces. So in the Rider-Waite, by the way, this is the universal Rider-Waite. The universal Rider-Waite, we have someone, fairly happy and content. He has everything that he needs, probably a bit more if that's wine, beer, what have you. It's a bit probably too much, right? It's a bit too much. And here again we have just a little too much. Obviously you're going to be happy, but again it's just a little too much. So it's indulgence. It's taking that time and doing it overboard, going a bit overboard. And that Jupiter expansion feel has done that, especially with the cups. And since we're in the cups, we're in that emotional realm, And we're trying to sort of fit into the emotional realm of Pisces as well. So we just have too much. It's a bit too much. And a lot of times we'll have that in life where we just have, it was okay at first, but then maybe it was a bit overboard, but sometimes that's okay. Eating way too much pizza, having way too much ice cream, what have you. So it's that indulgence, that emotional indulgence, because we are in the cups, and it's sort of going a bit overboard maybe. So maybe is a little too much of this, too much wine and fruit, and just too many cups. So again, we have that Pisces feel, but Jupiter hitting it, we've just gone a bit overboard. So that is a look at Jupiter within Pisces. So the next card is going to be the Ten of Cups, still in the cups, still in that emotional realm. And now we have Mars in Pisces. Now Mars has a lot of different meanings. One of the main ones is going to be action, or getting it done, moving along, getting that action done. Another quality of Mars is sort of that masculinity, sort of that masculine traits. Venus, we have the feminine traits, and Mars, we have a lot of the masculine traits. Sometimes Mars does go a little bit overboard, and you have that maybe abuse or a bit too much of the masculine maybe in that realm. It also represents the warlike nature that we have, or some conflict sometimes, and many times in a horoscope or what have you, that's going to sort of point to some conflicts being a malefic itself. So interesting planet. So within this context of Mars and Pisces, what exactly are we looking at? It appears that we're looking at, obviously, happiness. So we're leaning towards that positive sign of Mars, and the positive sign of Mars is getting us going and getting us rocking with the happiness. So that points a bit more to the action related, or getting things done, or getting some activity within the realm of Pisces. So a lot of times maybe Pisces, again, we have that connection, that emotional connection. And you see that within sort of this family unit. We have the family here. We have this tight-knit family with children and happiness, and everybody's going along. We have the family dog as well. So a lot of this sort of points to a connection between, the little family member and the big family over here, and we have the family here as well. So here we sort of have, I'm not sure what that is. That's a green creature or something. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like puppeteering going on with happiness. Maybe we do have a bit of puppeteering. I don't know. But we do definitely have the happiness feel and that connection between all of our family members and even the little family members. We have that connection you see across through there. So we're getting that aspect of Pisces that points to that connection, or that emotional bonding that's common with Pisces, and that and all the feel that you have with the intuitions and the love and the family connections and things like that with the Pisces. So we have that action of Mars within the realm of Pisces, and it's manifesting as a 10, as sort of this beautiful happiness that is just encompassing everything. Like I said in another class, we're talking about, do you have it all? In other words, having it all. And having it all emotionally seems to be what this card is definitely pointing to. So, you'd see something like this maybe with Cancer, with the sign of Cancer, but it's interesting just how encompassed everything is within the family unit and within the happiness card. So another interesting card that has to do with Pisces, and easy to remember because it's happiness. And so here we have, I guess, the controversial card, because not every resource points to the same thing. In other words, some resources say that some cards represent Pisces, and others say that the Prince, the Knight of Cups, represents Pisces. But I'm going to go with what these cards show. I know I say this every video, but we're going to go with what these cards show, just to sort of keep it common here. So what do we have common, per se, with the Knight of Cups, right? So one thing that we're pointing to Sir Galahad in here talks about mystic, innocent, and romantic. And that sort of points to the factors of Pisces. And you can see that watery Pisces feel over here when you get to the Knight of Cups as well. So it's interesting that the Knight of Cups would point to that. I forgot the universal Rider-Waite on this one. So maybe we have a more of an emotional bond. Maybe, and you can see the water feature here as well. So most of the knights that are riding along in the universal Rider-Waite are full of action, right? A lot of them have the sword drawn and they're galloping at full speed. A lot of them have different types of feelings to them, but this one has more of a toned down or sort of a subdued type emotional connection, watery feel. This knight is actually smiling and he's holding out the cups. Obviously he's well armored, but he sort of has a bit of style to him, right? He has the fish. So it's very easy to remember Pisces on the Knight of Cups because of the fish and the water feature and sort of the water streams going in between the fish here as well. So sort of a subdued knight, right? Sort of an emotionally connected. And you see this obviously here with the watery Pisces. The horse is sort of calm. Almost the horse is sort of like smiling. He has that smiling type, eye motion. It's got almost a smiling horse. And the knight is smiling, holding out the cups. A very subdued, calm. He's relaxed. He's taking his time. There's no big hurry. There's no mission to get to. So again, the fish should sort of cue you into that Pisces feel. And you have that Pisces feel amongst all of these cards. Obviously, with by the way, in case someone asks, this is the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. So we have the Knight of Cups here, obviously again has that Pisces feel. So, and I know that we have the different symbolism between the cards, and again, there's no one resource or all the resources don't agree with a lot of these things, but we're going again with this deck. So we have that Pisces feel, that watery feel amongst all of these cards, and again, it points to that mystic, that intuition that Pisces has. So Pisces is very intuitive. A lot of tarot readers of Pisces. And the innocent, maybe not so much. Romantic, yeah, Pisces just points to that romantic. They like to be romanced. Doesn't everybody, but the few girlfriends that I've had that are Pisces were definitely pointed at the romantic side. So one of those common feels amongst all the knights. It's interesting to see just how Pisces manifests within, a armored framework of the knight. Not only is this knight armored, but he can't help but smile, and he's got the helmet open to show his smile and show his face, and he's got the fish. So very easy to remember across all of these of Pisces. And I would like to thank my Patreon supporters. If you're wondering what that is, that's where you can support me by giving me a couple of bucks a month. Always helps with the software, equipment, etc. My Patreon supporters right now are Adam G., Allie Cat, Annie Lamaster, Carmen Garbriero, Carolyn Bouchard, Crystal McGinn, Fatima, Gary Fink, Hot Chocolate, Jessica Mante, Kim Wilson, KSW, La Ami, Richard Zeh, Scott Miller, Shintaro Kuga, Sinai Zamora, and Trino Iraverio. Thank you so much for being my supporters, and as always, please hit like and subscribe. It gets more traffic to the channel and gets some more attention to us so we can have more people watching the readings and the classes and things like that. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.